Hello world, this is Zan, playing Late Age Calum in Lucid's Dominions 5 tournament for 2022. It's been a while since the last recording, but if I remember correctly, these turns going forward shouldn't be too active, and I'm actually skipping a few, so it'll work out. So turn 31, the main things here are I trade some provinces to Pan, which is Bakoria and Armbeg, where he's going to have a big fight here with Tianchi, and he's going to win this, but I mean, we knew this already. But let's watch it anyways, because it's actually pretty cool. And I know he was really worried about it, and we talked a ton on how, as late age Pan, you could beat up Tianchi. But the really big deciding factor, honestly, is the only spells this Tianchi player is really going to cast is Legions of Steel and Strength of Giants, and your late age Pan. You could do the same. So we'll just watch kind of what goes on. We'll wait for these scripts to start ending. And once these units start moving forward, then we'll take a look at what's going on here. Okay, so let's take a quick pause, and for the most part, and I didn't pause it at a good point, we see that a lot of these Minotaurs have been afflicted with Curse of Stones, but most of them right now are ethereal. They don't have much in the way of buffs. Like, they don't have wooden warriors on or anything, which is kind of weird. It's one of the things I told him he should probably cast. Instead, they opted for Legions of Steel, which brings them up to 21, 23 protection. And then once they berserk, they should be at a little bit more. Looks like none of the guys up here got that treatment. Oh, this guy here. So he'll be at 23, 24 with Legions of Steel and Berserk. It's unfortunate that he didn't do Wooden Warriors. That's okay. Just a lot of making sure every single one of them has Legions of Steel on. Maybe it didn't have Alteration 5. That's okay. And now these ethereal, Legions of Steel Minotaurs are going to run forward. Tianchi is actually casting Earth Meld and Malt of the Earth too, which is pretty cool. But what's also happening, and this is kind of clutch, is these Pans are casting Heal. So being ethereal with all of these hit points and protection, it's actually hard to one-tap these Minotaurs. But now these Pans are running up behind them and casting Heal to replenish the wounds, because they're taking their friendly fire from their crossbowmen. TNG's archers are doing work, and now all the lance charges are going to start hitting. So to get the Minotaurs to the line, the Pans have been casting Heal, which is pretty cool. That one just casts Far Strike. So that's honestly pretty darn cool. I saw some destructions go off. Yeah, destruction looks like this, where the first hit, I think, reduces the armor of whatever it affects to about 75. And if it hits again, then it's going to just completely shatter the armor and bring it down to half. We find, okay, TNG is apparently still starving from that time they went into the wasteland. And now those Pans are also casting Earth Meld. So these Minotaurs are size 3, so they're not going to be able to trample the Heavy Cav, but they still have a 34 damage Battle Axe at attack value 15, which can even repel these falchions. It's hilarious. There's another cast of Earth Meld and Destruction. So now this guy's damaged, the shield is broken. Yeah. It's unfortunate that they can't trample. Maybe something larger could have gone a long way, but I think this Earth Meld spam has just completely shut down TNG. That's pretty good. This was a pretty clean fight in my opinion. And again, we knew this was going to happen. This is not a surprise to any of us. So losing 22 units can devastate the entire TNG army. Man, what I'd do to have some really good unit like a Grove Guardell in my roster. I think TNT or Satis gets a little ping, and then there's another battle in Uraga. I think this is just Utgard storming. And I was watching this battle earlier, and this is the battle that made me. If the sound effects are really low, that's very much on purpose because of this battle. It got really loud for a second. So there's a lot of Will-O-Wisps, which, I mean, to me, Will-O-Wisp is a pretty good spell because these little bastards have defense 20. Flame Burst is armor piercing, but it doesn't hit AoE. But they're 20 defense skill ethereal units, so I think they're pretty good at messing up with scripting. You get things like this happen, and things like this are really good. The issue is you want to do some Will-O-Wisp at the beginning to just kind of mess up formation, but then you need something to have wiped out the enemy front line before, you know, they all get together again. And I don't think 3 big elementals, maybe 4 big elementals, is enough to have done that. Maybe they'll kill some units, but that's not enough of a critical mass of elementals to do it. So, yeah. Oh, we had a thug over there dive to the back and get murdered by a Garm. That's what Garms do. And then here's the rest of what's going to happen. Just Garms slapping things, as they tend to. And that's it for Raga. So he did pretty good. He took out 6 Garms, a bunch of regular humans, some spearmen. It's kind of an okay result for what it was, but that's the Ragan defense, and with that, he is permanently vanished. And that is the last thing really of note for turn 31. Oh, I stormed Tianchi, and he went out with a whimper, so barely a footnote worth mentioning. We continue now to turn 32. I think there's another good battle here and there. Okay, this one is not important. There's a good fight here in Satis that we briefly touched on last turn where there was just a little ping, and Satis said, wait, even though my god is cursed, he can probably just take on this whole army, so he's going to risk it all. We have a bunch of siege crap that, like, I think there's like every mercenary possible. Some guardians and some anathemans, which are going to come in some fire elementals or fireballs or something. Yeah. Oh, these are baby fire elementals. Okay, and they're going to try and kill this extremely fire-resistant, regenerating lizard that honestly, I don't know if he had the research or not, but this thing could have cast all vapors. That would have been hilarious against Abyssia if there's no, if he doesn't have poison resistance nonetheless. He does, okay. He does have it, but still all the siege shaft. These fire elementals do nothing. They, with 25 fire resistance, these fire elementals will do 0 damage. Okay, that was a good stun, but even while stunned, this thing maintains its moss body. It is bleeding, though, and bleed is really good effect when you want to kill pretenders, but it's regenerating 20 hit points a turn. I don't think, while moss body is on it, even if it's stunned, I don't think it's going to go down. Yeah, you know, I wish it would have had Val Vapors to, you know, actually kill everything else, but for now, just kind of fight them. Fight them with both ends. It's decaying now as well, but it's Pretender, so there's no way it's going to reach old age anytime soon. And yeah, that's it. It's over. Surprised these guys didn't all burn. They just tuck it out from the heat. And Satis successfully defends his capital, and Abyssia mostly just lost all the mercenaries, but 10 sacreds, and yeah, that's it pretty much. He just lost 10 sacreds. Everything else here is mercenary losses. Oh, I guess 6 heavy infantry. And then we have another battle in Valcoria. This is Tianchi now storming, or Tianchi. This is Pan now storming Tianchi's fort. These are all the cowards that ran from the last battle, and you saw that. Actually, I'm gonna bring that back. That was a very good initial volley right here. He had his cavalry behind his mages, so all the Ancestor Smiths take heavy damage or outright die. Now they're starting to cast some other spells, but the Minotaur should be coming in soon. Another one goes down to crossbows. Another one goes down to crossbows. They're really expensive, the Pangean crossbow line. in the late age, but they have absurd precision. Like a 1 experience star and it's precision 15, and Pan is a nation that can cast Wind Guide. So you can get these potentially up to 19 precision with 1 experience star. That's pretty crazy. And then they're armored, so they actually can go up against. Oh look, this guy's got all his crap broken. That's what destruction does. It just breaks your armor. So Legions of Steel brings it up by 3, which is why he's at a base 10. But this character otherwise would have about 20 protection, and instead he has 10. So he's going to take twice as much damage. I mean, the math is wonky, but he's going to take a lot more. He's just going to get whacked by this Minotaur. He's Ethereal Minotaur. And he's advancing cast Pans that are just being amazing. Healing the Minotaurs or earth gripping the people that they're fighting. It's pretty good. Unfortunately, this is the last interesting turn for a bit. But fortunately for you guys, I can just skip ahead and go to the next interesting turn, which is all the way on turn 36. So on turn 36, we end our non-aggression pact, or at turn 35, we ended our non-aggression pact with Utgard, and here he just kind of sent me a sad message, because what's going on is we're coalitioning him. There's going to be 3 of us, Pan, myself, and Midgard, and Midgard's already going in there, and we've each partitioned up the land of Utgard. We've drawn our lines, and we're going to go ahead and do that. So that's kind of an important thing. And the other important thing of this turn is the stupid trolls are back, and I think this is the 3rd time, the 4th time. These stupid trolls in this stupid province every gosh darn time. So that sucks. The other bit of news that's important for turn 36 is Atlantis has ended their nap with Ulm. So that leaves me in quite a predicament, because I need to protect Ulm so I can be able to fight Atlantis properly. Shoot. Let's move on to turn 37 and see how that's going to work out for me. So turn 37, we have a messenger from Ulm where they've accepted that they're going to die trying, which is good. Let's see what pound of flesh they can take from Atlantis. We have more blood empowerings going, which is always good. But this is really bad. Like, in the list of things that could be bad, this is probably the worst possible thing that can happen to me in this game. Those handful of horror marks from the 1 bump against Midgard, there weren't that many. I didn't think this was going to be a problem, but it's possible because he has so many experience stars from just beating up TNG that he just drew the attention of the Eater of Gods. And I can kill this thing. I have Titan kits that can kill this thing pretty often. It's hard because these are armor negating. These are armor negating attacks at an attack skill of 27. They're most likely going to land. He's going to curse you, and you can't stop this. Pretty much, it's difficult to negate. He's going to drain your life. That's whatever. And then he has damage reversal, but you can kill this. I have kits that can kill this. Problem is, I don't have that kit right now. This man is just forging items. And I think that might be what it was. I think maybe him forging items plus the horror marks is what drew the attention. Him casting like ritual spells. I think that's what happened. Maybe. I don't know how all the mechanics work. But with this getup that he currently has, there's little to no chance that this Anunnaki makes it out alive. The only chance would be that this guy somehow fails a magic resistance check and gets fined. So step 1, he casts Strength of Gaia. Okay, bump up your protection against armor negating attacks a little bit. Give yourself some regeneration. It's not the worst thing to do. These little deer are coming in clutch. And he casts Stream of Life. And Stream of Life would have been fun, I guess, if it would have succeeded. It's not even like a check. Yeah, it didn't even bother. So he cast it there. Okay. And yeah, because 23 magic resistance. And now he tries to cast Blade Wind, which isn't even magical, so good luck with that. Although, the shotgun effect might have done work. So he cripples the thing, which, honestly, if I had the Titan Kit and the first turn of combat was this result, cursed luck, jeez. This result, I think I could have definitely beaten it. Because that reduction in defense, and the Titan kit does have very high defense, like about 30 or more. Um, I think I could have killed this thing. But again, as it stands, it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. So we've crippled it. I don't know if it keeps that forever, but it's good to know. Maybe in a rematch, that might, if there's a rematch later, that might come in clutch. And for our first turn, really, we're just gonna ping Utgard. We're gonna kill these stupid trolls, and we're gonna kill these stupid barbarians. We have some minor fights going around here. Pangea has just an unsupported army of Grove Guard run into this Utgard line, and because it's unsupported, like all those pans were over there fighting cheap cheap. I don't know if maybe this is the same army, but look at those soul slaves, man. Like he really needed to have those pans there, or have those crossbowmen. Even maybe forward deploying the crossbowmen might have helped. But damage is done. All those minotaurs are dead. All those minotaurs are dead, and that's such a blow because these guys are 50 gold each. That's 2,000 something gold, and minotaur is gone. Not to mention the resource cost. That's huge. That's huge. I don't think anything else is too important. Oh, yes. This stupid event happens in the Saran Forest, so I'm going to lose all of my population there. I hate that stupid event. Misfortune is crap. Never play with it. Who cares if it's efficient? It's not fun to have. Let's see if there's another battle in Satis. Satis now brings his entire army, which is not necessary. If you have this Pretender, and the Pretender by itself can wipe out armies, don't use your army. What can happen is then your army HP routes your Pretender, and then you die. So don't do that. You have a super pretender that can fight on its own. You just use that. You don't mix and match. It's bad. So this turn I end my non-aggression pact now with Atlantis, and I start preparing for a defense in Lapintha because I can't fight both at the same time. That would be difficult. So what I'm going to try to do is defend in Lapintha and kind of threaten Atlantis, who I'm almost certain Atlantis is just going to call my bluff. He knows I'm not going to do anything. So I'm just going to kind of move into Lapintha and, you know, wiggle my spears around and kind of spook them a little bit and hope for the best. Meanwhile, I'm going to try to, as fast as I can, take out Utgard. But again, with losing my god right at the outset of these pretty critical wars, shit. That's shit. That's really bad.